still remember the first time I dared to speak my dream aloud. I was sitting at the dinner table, plate half-eaten, eyes shining with hope, trying to share my vision for transforming the city's barren rooftops into lush, self-sustaining ecosystems, urban aquaponics farms that could feed thousands. My family's reaction? Laughter. Not gentle chuckles, but sharp, dismissive snickers that cut through my heart. "You're dreaming again," my father snarled, pushing his chair back. "That's a ridiculous fantasy. That's not real life. You're smarter than that. Don't embarrass us with your nonsense." My mother's voice, cold and dismissive, chimed in. "You're wasting your time, throwing away your career on what? A pipe dream? You're headstrong, but you're not practical. You're just an idealist, and it's embarrassing." My siblings rolled their eyes, whispering behind my back, calling me a naive kid, crazy, destined to fail. They said I was an embarrassment to the family, someone who didn't understand the real world, who was destined to be a failure because I dared to dream differently. I was only 24 then, the youngest urban planner in City Hall, and I believed in a future where cities weren't just concrete jungles, but living ecosystems. But that belief made me a target. The senior officials, threatened by my advocacy for sustainable urban development, orchestrated a political backstab. I was framed, ousted, humiliated. My reputation shattered overnight. But even in that darkness, something inside refused to die. I knew I wasn't wrong. I knew this was my purpose. I silently vowed that one day I'd prove everyone wrong. I would show them what true resilience looked like. So I left City Hall behind, and I poured everything into my new mission, urban aquaponics farming. It was a radical idea back then, ridiculed as impossible, unfit for dense cities, a pipe dream. Friends told me I was wasting my talent. Family, still bitter from my fall, kept cracking jokes at my expense. "Good luck living in your fantasy world," they sneered. But I persisted, fueled by a relentless fire inside. The years that followed, a grueling, lonely grind. I traveled, studied aquaponics intensively, built tiny pilot projects on rooftops, often with little more than faith and scraps of funding. Critics said I was chasing an impossible dream, that I'd never get anywhere. But with each failed attempt, I learned about resilience, about innovation, about transforming despair into hope. And slowly, the impossible started to happen. I secured funding, gained recognition. My rooftop farms began to flourish, vivid green oases in the midst of gray concrete cities. People started to notice. Cities began to see the value in turning rooftops into living, breathing food sources, resilient, sustainable, beautiful. I became a pioneer, a leader in urban aquaponics, and an advocate for real change. Then, last year, everything exploded. What once was dismissed as a pipe dream was now national news. My work had turned abandoned rooftops into vibrant food ecosystems, fresh fish swimming in natural cycles alongside lush vegetables, all without harmful chemicals. Urban agriculture was no longer a fringe idea, but a vital part of city planning, a way to combat food insecurity, climate change, and urban decay. And today? Today I'm back in my hometown, the place I left amid ridicule, the place where they made me feel small and foolish, As I step onto my childhood street, I see their faces. Neighbors, friends, family, all gathered in front of my latest project. A sprawling rooftop farm atop what used to be an empty municipal building. It's a living testament to everything I fought for. My family watches from the crowd, silent in disbelief as I walk toward them. Their eyes are wide, faces etched with shock and confusion. They see me not as the embarrassment they once mocked, but as someone who transformed derision into triumph. They stand before them, heart pounding, and I speak with clarity, voice unwavering. Do you remember those nights at the dinner table when I told you I wanted to change the world? When you told me I was wasting my time? Do you remember calling me a fool? They nod, hesitant. Well, look around. This, what you see, is not just the farm. It's proof. It's proof that dreams, real, bold, impossible dreams, can come true. That resilience, faith, and unwavering belief in your purpose can turn mockery into marvels. A long silence. Their eyes flicker, and for a moment, I see the weight of their judgments, the years of ridicule, the pain of rejection. But then, my father steps forward, eyes moist, voice trembling. I was wrong. I didn't understand. I was scared of losing what I thought was stability. But you proved me wrong. You proved that risking everything for what you believe in is not foolish. It's necessary. My mother approaches, tears streaming down her face. I wish I had been there to support you from the start. I see now how strong you've been. I'm proud of you, more than words can say. I feel my chest tighten with emotion. All the hurt, the betrayal hashed out in this moment of truth dissolves into something else. Pride, forgiveness, hope. Because I learned something vital on this path, that the greatest failures are often the soil from which the most extraordinary successes grow. That the scorn of others is often just a reflection of their own fears, not a judgment of your worth. That perseverance, rooted in purpose, can turn even the harshest rejection into redemption. I look at my family, at the verdant rooftop beneath my feet, and I realize I've won. Not just in the eyes of the city, but in my heart. I've proven that with unwavering belief, resilience, and courage, you can transform not only land and cityscapes, but also the wounds inflicted by doubt and ridicule. And as I stand here, I know this isn't just about me. It's about everyone who's ever been mocked for chasing a dream that others deemed impossible. It's about reminding them, and myself, that the most profound victories come from staying true to what makes your heart beat, even when the world says no. That's the true victory. That's the real triumph. And I promise you, when you refuse to give up, even in the face of mockery and failure, you're not just changing the world. You're changing yourself. And that, my friends, is the greatest success of all.